Hi, I'm Mark Fischer, candidate for the Pennsylvania House of Representatives in District 50. This is Mark and Sam on the back porch. And if you have any thoughts, comments, questions, please go to my website, www.markwfischer.com. Fischer is spelled F-I-S-C-H-E-R.
Welcome back to Mark and Sam on the back porch. We've got a few things to talk about, but first of all, let's talk about the campaign update, Mark.
Absolutely. Well, we've already discussed the debate,
yes,
or the debateless debate. I don't know what it's going to be. You know, the bottom line is I'm going to be there Monday night, 6:30 at the VFW Club,
right,
and here in Waynesburg, and it goes to 8:30, and I'm answering the questions that the organizations have put out there. So we're charging ahead.
You know what? I'm a registered Democrat. Could I fill in for her?
Well, sure.
If she's not there.
I'm hoping somebody brings a puppet or something.
Right.
Maybe there'll be an empty chair. I don't know.
Right.
I've got other things going on. I've stayed out of the formatting of it, but it should be an interesting time. But as far as the campaign, things are going really well. I've been on the radio over at WMBS.
Right.
Obviously, a large focus of this is geared to Fayette County area.
Sure.
That organization, or that group of voters over there, were instrumental to build the Weiss.
Right.
And we've spent a lot of time over there. Had a lot of groups. Had a lot of secret groups that are afraid to, be publicly seen with me.
You know, I'm starting to see that myself, and that is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Afraid to say who you're going to vote for. That's politics 50 years ago or 60 years ago.
Well, in my case, my opponent, wields considerable power at the county.
Oh, sure.
And I've had many people come to me and describe themselves as Snyder victims, people that have lost jobs or had their careers affected by her, strong arm tactics at the county, which is despicable. You know me, Sam, and the people that have been watching this know me. I'm not going to play those games. Never have. You just can't let that enter into. Once you do that, you're a political hack and nothing else. Mm-hmm. And that's what we're dealing with, and I won't play it.
Colin Powell said a good quote on the news the other day. He said, instead of worrying about all of the politics and party this, party that, we should be worrying more about compromise. Yeah. Because everybody across the aisle has to compromise to resolve some of these horrible situations we have.
Yeah, and that's been an interesting concept when you look at situations with one-party control.
Right.
It leads to problems.
Sure.
And, I'm not sure that either party has performed well or appropriately in those, those situations. And there's a fundamental level in my mind that you don't cross. The Constitution, doing the right thing for the people, those kind of things that I've tried to do in the campaign, refusing to take all the big money contributions. I won't take money from a public sector union because certainly I will have to vote on things that affect them, like their pensions, like keeping state liquor stores or hopefully getting rid of them. These things affect people, and it's just not right. I'm not going to take the money. Won't do it. I never will. It's done. I mean, I'm not going to run big money campaigns. Right. But on our campaign notes right now, a lot of these meetings have gone with small groups that go out and talk to others, and that's what's going on here. And I run the gamut with comments, regarding my opponent and these things. And I'm not so worried. My opponent is what she is. I'm, whatever. The point I want people to take away is what I will be as a representative. And that's above board, that's approachable.
Sure.
You talk to anybody that's called me during this campaign, and they know I take the time to answer them. I had to get a Bluetooth headset when I burned up the one that's built in my car. It just died from being on it constantly, so I had to get one, and I did that. And I do answer the calls. I talk to the people. I do care about the issues.
Sure.
I think there are, a lot of fundamentals that make me the better choice, but we'll see what happens. We're getting close to the election. We're under 2 weeks.
Right.
So it's coming down to the end, and I feel good about things the way they are. We'll see, because it depends on how much voters have informed themselves.
Right.
I still talk to voters, and they say, "Oh, you're running against Weiss," And I say, well, no, he's not on the ballot anymore. And this happened yesterday, and the guy's like, what? He's not on the ballot? What happened? And I had to tell him the story.
Yeah,
you know?
right.
And once he heard the story, he said, "Okay, I'm voting for you."
Well,
you know,
sure.
it was pretty easy.
Sure.
But you know, there are uninformed people out there, and it depends on how much they come out. Voter enthusiasm, Democrat side, it appears it's down.
Right.
Democrats had a meeting recently in Hopewell in Uniontown, and it's kind of funny. They said they're losing badly in Fayette and Greene County. They want everybody to vote straight Democrat ticket. Well, look, with the choice we've got as president, it ain't going to happen.
Right.
The guy yesterday that didn't know about DeWeese, he said he's involved in automotive sales.
Right.
And he apparently, we have some kind of crazy rule in Pennsylvania where they have to vote in presidential elections to keep their license.
I didn't know that.
Another great regulation there, you know.
Right.
Well, anyway, he said, I have to go vote. I'm just going to go write Hillary Clinton in. And I had to laugh. I said, well, you know, yeah, our choices, you know, I mean, obviously, they're not, in my mind, motivating choices. Oh, I want to do this. Now, people locally, of course, are fired up over the war on coal.
Sure.
Which is a game changer.
Right.
You know, and they're willing to embrace anybody besides the Obama. But it was an interesting conversation. I love that. I spent all day yesterday with somebody. It was interesting because they're a lifelong Democrat, and they're taking me around to meet people that they know,
right.
And was very helpful. And so there's a lot of cross-party action in this, and the overwhelming sentiment that I get is we can't let her get in this seat. And I find that interesting, that over and over and over, that's the message I get. First thing I get when somebody's there, usually some obscenities thrown in. And it's like, you know, to have that strong of a negative,
right?
That's amazing. I mean, people may not like me because I'm, you know, running as a Republican, and that may offend them. You know, maybe because I went to Tea Party meetings, they may not like me. But you don't get that level of animosity. You know, it's like, well, I don't like you, I don't like this, or I don't like that, and we deal with it.
Sure.
But with her, it's an angry opposition, and I find that to be truly an amazing thing, to think that you know, the votes for me are largely votes against my opponent. You know, that's and it speaks to my original, you know, comment way back when they selected her to fill in. Right. I said, really? You know, I mean, you really think that's going to work out? So we'll see. Maybe it will. You know,
well,
you never know.
Time will tell, that's for sure. The election will be coming up a week from this coming Tuesday. Make sure everybody gets out to vote.
November 6th.
That's right. And when you do, vote for Mark Fischer for your state representative in the 50th District. This has been Mark and Sam on the Back Porch. Stay tuned. We've got more.